بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So alhamdulillah, we finished. What we finished? Last we finished breakfast. We finished brunch. No. This is our map so far of the book. We started off with section 1 words. In there we discussed what? Jumla. No, we discussed ism, fa'il, harf. Then sentences. Jumla ismiya, jumla fa'liya, mubtada, khabar. Kana, laysa, ism of kana, ism of laysa, khabar of kana, khabar of laysa, inna, ism of inna, khabar of inna. Then we done phrases, which are ma'tuf alay, ma'tuf, mubdal minhu, badal, mawsuf, man'ut, naat, ism ishara, mushanu ilay, mudaf ilay, and the shibhul jumla. Yes? Then pronouns, zamir marfu, mubtada, and fa'il, zamir maf'ul bihi, zamir of inna, zamir mudaf ilay, and zamir majroor. Quite a bit in it. Now we're moving on to section 5. What does that mean? Remember this table? We had jumla ismiya. We said jumla ismiya is made up of mubtada and khabar, or mubtada muakhar and khabar muqaddam. Then you have jumla fa'liya made up of fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul bihi thani, maf'ul fi, hal, and muta'alliq. Then we said what? Many of these slots can be replaced by phrases. And what type of phrases we had? We had unrestricted. So first of all, we said the verb is a fa'il, obviously. Then all of these are nouns, and all of these are nouns. Yes? And wherever there's a noun, an unrestricted phrase can replace a noun. You remember that? And then we said that the restricted phrase, meaning the shibhul jumla, can come in maf'ul fi slot, or muta'alliq slot, or khabar muqaddam slot. Well, khabar, muqaddam or normal. Yes? That's a recap of it then. What we're saying now is that the maf'ul bihi can be a sentence. So maf'ul bihi can be one word, maf'ul bihi can be a phrase, maf'ul bihi can be a sentence. The maf'ul bihi thani can be a word, it can be a phrase, or it can be a sentence. The maf'ul fi can be a word, it can be a sentence, it can be a phrase. The hal can be a sentence. The khabar can be a sentence, it can be a phrase. So now the sentence has a sentence within it. Make sense? It's scary, doesn't it get complicated. Everything seems complicated at first, but it's very simple. I said yes. What was the question? We don't know the question. I said yes. I said no in case somebody said, oh, is it more tomorrow? We said, Masa, you said, I said yes, it's on the board, look, it's in the video. So I said yes. What's the fa'il? What's the fa'il? Fa'il. Said. Who is the fa'il? I. What's the maf'ul bihi? Is it one word or is it more than one word? One word. I said he ate the bread. What's the fa'il? Said. Who's the fa'il? And what's the maf'ul bihi? He ate the bread. That's what you said, isn't it? Is that one word or more than one word? Is it a phrase or a sentence? So the whole sentence becomes what? Maf'ul bihi of said. You get it? The entire sentence becomes what? Maf'ul bihi. You get the concept? It's very simple. Yes? Okay? Now, first of all, we're going to discuss the khabar. We start with jumla ismiya, like how we did before, and make the khabar a sentence. So the khabar can be one word, the khabar can be a phrase, or the khabar can be a sentence. And how many types of sentences are there? 2. So the khabar can be jumla ismiya or jumla fa'liya. We're going to start the khabar as jumla fa'liya. Allahu rafa'a as-samaa'a. Allahu rafa'a as-samaa'a. How do we translate this? Okay, let's look at it first. Let's do the structure first. Is it jumla ismiya or jumla fa'liya? Why? Because it starts with an ism. So Allah, lafzul jalala becomes what? 1 minute. It becomes what? The inks are not working, the inks are playing around a bit, so sorry for the color. So everything will be in red today for some reason. So mubtada, and the rafa as-sama becomes what? Khabar. Is the khabar one word or is it a sentence? Is a sentence jumla ismiya or jumla fa'liya? Jumla fa'liya. So then what's this going to become? Fa'il. Fa'il. What's the fa'il? Could you see a marfu after it? So it has to be mustatir. Remember, right? You cannot make the word before the fa'il. That's the rule in Arabic. We can't say the word Allah is the fa'il. The zamir huwa, which refers to the mubtada, is the fa'il, not the word Allah itself. That's the way the Arabic works, grammar works. This is not the fa'il, this is the mubtada. Yes? The fa'il is what? The huwa zamir mustatir in rafa'a. And the sama'a becomes what? The maf'ulun. Maf'ulun bihi. Does that make sense? You understand? Yes? Now how do I translate this? I translate this as what? I say, Allah is mubtada. Mubtada is khabar. Allah is, He raised the sky. Do you agree with me? It doesn't sound like English, does it? What sounds wrong in here? Is yes, it is jumla ismiya, but basically when you have a jumla ismiya, the sentence is a jumla, the khabar is a jumla fa'liya. You don't do a jumla ismiya translation. You take off the is, and you also take off the pronoun which refers to the mubtada, basically he. And you just say what? Allah raised the sky. You don't say Allah is, He raised the sky. This would makes sense. Just try to keep reading up. So if you have Allah khalaqa as-sama'a wal ard, when you Turkey, what do you have to do? At the top, in blue ink, because these are the main parts of the sentence, you label the main parts. That's the main part. That's the main part. You following? Okay. Then you go down. You see the khabar is the sentence, isn't it? So you start. You work your way up. You start from a lower point and you work your way up. What's the biggest part of the sentence of the khabar? It's a fa'il, fa'il and maf'ul bihi. So you label that first here. Then on top of that, you break down any additional parts. As-sama'a wal ard becomes what? Ma'tuf alayhi ma'tuf becomes maf'ul bihi. So from here, you put the biggest parts on the top, and then you make your way up. You make the fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul bihi, and then you make ma'tuf alayhi harfat, ma'tuf, any phrases on top of it. So it's like a sandwich basically. You got to sandwich it. That's a good way of thinking of it. So the sentences are a sandwich, are the bread. You put it at the top and the bottom. Correct? And then in between you put the sentence, and then you put all the phrases, the lettuce and the cheese. Correct? Yes? Turkey sandwich. I'm getting hungry now, yeah? So you want to do a Turkey sandwich. You got it? Think about the sandwich. So the sentence comes at the top, and the sentence comes at the bottom. The main sentence goes at the top, and the bottom sentence goes at the bottom. The sub-sentences. The sentences within the sentence come at the bottom. Do you understand? And then you wrap it all up into a nice burger. Okay? Yes? So a few rules. Can I say this? Ana, let's say for example, I say Zaydun Mubtada Fatima Maridatun. Can I say that? Why not? Zayd Mubtada, Fatima Maridat the khabar. Zayd, Fatima is sick. No, Zayd Mubtada, that's the khabar. Does that make sense? You can't just have anything as a mubtada and a khabar. You have to have a link. The mubtada and khabar must link. How do they link? By having a pronoun within the mubtada and the khabar, which within the khabar. For example, you have to have a pronoun in here, the huwa, which is zamir mustatir, which refers to the mubtada. You can't put any word in the mubtada and khabar and say, oh, it's a sentence. The khabar has to have a link to the mubtada. So you always have to look. There must be a pronoun in the khabar as a sentence which refers to the mubtada. You got it? Okay? Okay? And in short, what do? You remove the is, you remove the, and you translate it as a jumla fa'liya. So even though tarkeeb is a jumla ismiya, how do you translate it as a jumla fa'liya? Okay? And this also applies to inna, kan, not only to mubtada khabar, but ism of inna. The khabar of inna can be a sentence. The khabar of kana can be a sentence. So inna Allah yaghfiru dhunub. So inna harfu mushabbahun bil fa'il. Allah is a lafz jalala is a ism, and the whole khabar of inna is a sentence. And you have fa'il, fa'il and maf'ul bihi. Are you following? Do you understand? Do you have any questions? Yes, so we do exercise inshallah. Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.